Right, so today we are doing upstream and downstream. What is that? It's basically green screening, but it's the terms you use when you're doing it live. Upstream is behind you, so that's adding a background. Downstream is like graphics in front. So if you're live, you might be doing the news and you have the little ticker tape with all the breaking news headlines going on underneath. So in case you're still confused, there's this wonderful graphic here of Tim walking in, and then we're going to separate those layers. And you can see we've got the downstream, that's the graphic in front, and the upstream. What you can see in between those is the alphas. So when you do your green screen key, you're going to get your alpha of your actual footage, and then your forward-facing graphic has to have a pre-baked alpha, because the ATEM is going to use that to separate things and do it all live. Because we are keying, lighting is so important, and we can't make adjustments afterwards. This is not about post. So you need to make sure that your green screen is evenly lit and that your subject is nicely separated from the background, because any grain that we get is going to be broadcast. So I'm going to take you through how to do it using our ATEM setup here. This won't be generic to every ATEM setup with the buttons and everything, but the core ideas are very simple and you'll get those. Okay, so you're inside ATEM software control, and the first thing you need to do is go to your media pool, and that's where you're going to import any assets that you might want to use. Now, for your downstream stuff, remember you have to have already baked in your alpha. So that's either a video with transparency or it's a PNG sequence. Then once you've imported them, we're just going to drag and drop our background that we want into media player 1, and then our foreground into media player 2. It's just going to make things easier later, but it doesn't matter which way around they are. The ATEM can take loads of different image types, including PNG and JPEG, so I'll be surprised if you struggle here. Back to the switcher, and then to make things easier, we're going to preview our appropriate camera. Then you're going to go into the palette menu, and you're going to go to your upstream key. We're going to use number 1, and then you're going to go to chroma. For your fill source, you need to pick the appropriate camera that you want to key, and then underneath, you're going to see chroma sample, and then a box that you can move around. Now, if we look on our footage, as we move that box, you have to click preview to see all this. As we move that box, it's got an area of our footage, and that is what it's going to use to key the background. In most post keyers, you just pick one pixel, but because Live is trying to be nicer and nicer to you, so you get a cleaner image without any processing, you get a whole area. Then on our switcher, we're going to activate the key by pressing key 1. You're also going to preview media player 1 so that you can have the right thing behind it. We can then adjust the key using the sliders back in the palette menu. You need to make sure that you do this before you broadcast, because obviously you can't be adjusting the key as you broadcast, because we're professionals. And there, you've done it. All that's left is for you to press cut, and you are broadcasting a key. Now, this isn't that complicated, but there are quite a few buttons to press. So what you really want to do is do all of this before your broadcast and then make it into a shortcut, and then it's just one little click and you get exactly what you want. That's the upstream. It's time for down. Downstream is even easier. So you're going to go to the downstream menu, and you're going to set your fill and key source as appropriate to media player 2 and media player 2 key. And then back on your switchboard, you are going to press tie. What you might see at this point is that your colors have gone strange. What that means is you need to uncheck or check where it says pre-multiplied key. This is just to do with how you formatted or put together your downstream asset. So don't worry about what it is, but whatever's gone wrong is fixed. But now you've done it. You've got an upstream, you've got a downstream. You can cut to that, and if you put that in shortcuts, you can cut to that as much as you like. But yeah, those are the buttons. Buttons are annoying to get your head around, but really it's not that complicated. It's just pressing the right ones. It's a super simple thing, so learn to do it, and then you will be a broadcast extraordinaire.